And in terms of, you being really new and like how you just described some of the new kids where what they do during the off season are new guys versus some of the older guys. Do you feel that just from your personality type, I guess would be the best way to put it, do you kind of step forward as a leader with some of the rookies, the newer guys, or do you feel more comfortable kind of sitting back, letting other people take on that role? So what's your leadership style? Would be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's unique for this team. Because first of all, we're all so young, as well as there's certain pockets where we all lead. And there's certain opportunities that, there's not really, a power dynamic or a power shift between each player. If someone, has to say something, everyone listens. It's very a collaborative leadership, environment, and that's I think one of my favorites is just because everyone has that mutual respect of each other and holds everyone's value and opinion highly and takes it seriously. So it's kind of like that for us, but I would say I try to do my best in by leading by example and trying to just show up to work every day and just have the best attitude and try to achieve as much as I can throughout the day. And hopefully that can rub off on some people and just be more collaborative with that. And again, the Grizzlies do a great job of having that open space and having just the mutual respect of each other and wanting the same goals.
Absolutely. I like that, leading by example. I find that works really, really well. Also the
Mhm,
collaborative leadership when you're working with the team. So
mhm,
those are two great pieces of advice or leadership styles. Um, in terms of, I know you're new, or you're still a rookie, but in terms of how you balance uh your personal life versus your professional life. You've been playing ball for a long time now. So even if go back
mhm.
to your collegiate years, how do you balance that, playing the sport and then your personal life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say for a professional athlete is just taking advantage of your rest days and your off days. Um, yeah, try to do something that can just take your mind off of basketball. The season is, 9 to 10 months, and sometimes it can kind of get draining and kind of get monotonous. And so understanding your body and understanding your mind, if you're always just constantly on 100% thinking about basketball, you'll get burnt out pretty quick. And so my advice would really just be take advantage of your off days of go to the zoo or go to the movie theater or, do something that doesn't require you to kind of think 110% or, and just be super stressed out. Those are days that you can relax and recoup and you'll start to appreciate the game even more once you really take advantage of those off days.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, in terms of challenges, I'm sure you've seen your days of challenges so far, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come that you'll overcome. But can you name maybe like one challenge that you've had to overcome professionally, and how maybe a lesson learned from it, and how you were able
Mhm.
to grow from it going forward?
Yeah. I would say just the challenge of playing time, I would say. And just being in a different role that you've never been in before. Again, I was a rookie and we have, world superstars on our team in Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bain and John Morant. So, those guys have the bulk of the minutes and the points. So being in a new position where, I don't really get a lot of offensive touches, but my role is definitely just kind of to take charge on the defensive end. Really just learning and just, you know, understanding my role and having that kind of mental battle of just kind of getting used to playing in that new role. I think that was a big challenge as well as you don't know how many minutes you're going to get each night, so just trying to have that stay ready mindset and just being fluid with whatever comes, and just accepting it and just doing the best that I can with the time that I'm allowed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In terms of your basketball career goals, what would you say are your you've been drafted, you're playing for the Grizzlies now, but what are your longer term goals, whether that be on the court, so basketball,
Mm.
or off the court?
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot. In my career, I would love to win a championship. I think that's, hopefully everyone's goal throughout this whole journey is to try to, reach the pinnacle and try to, bring a championship home. And, really other than that, just try to get as much as I can out of it. Again, just the experiences and trying to kind of leave a legacy and just kind of show that I gave this game 110% of my effort and um, you know just really just enjoy it because you never know when it can go away. So just trying to be in the moment and just really enjoy it and just become a better person out of it. Hopefully I'll have a family one day down the line and I can kind of leave my legacy with them and just become just a better person. I think that's the biggest goal.
Yeah, that's a great goal, that we all should have, right? Just trying to become
Mm,
a better person, a better human being.
yeah.
Um, in terms of your career so far, again, I'm sure we talked about, any lows that you've had or challenges. What about a high? If you had to pick one thing, I know there are many, but if you
Mhm,
had to pick one thing that has been one of your standout career highs so far, what was
mhm.
it? Why?
Um, I would say just contributing during the playoffs. I think that was something that was a huge moment for me. Again, just with the playoffs, the intensity, goes up and the energy goes up. And, for me to kind of stay in that rotation was great and just get my first playoff experience. Against the Lakers is another great challenge. Unfortunately, the series didn't go the way we wanted it to, but as a rookie, just playing as much as I had and just getting those experiences will definitely propel my career early on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know this might be a question that's really, maybe too early to ask you in your career, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Um, how would you, looking back, would you say, or is there a piece of advice that you would give, say, your younger self? So knowing
Hmm.
everything that you know now from how
Hmm.
far you've made it today, looking back, is there any advice you would give yourself when you were younger?
Allow yourself to fail. I think
Mhm.
that's something that not many athletes are used to
Yeah.
and can struggle with. We're so results driven that sometimes you forget that it's not about the end result; it's about the journey. Like I said, two, three times before is as soon as you accept failure,
Mhm.
that's a building block to improve. And if you're too scared to fail, you won't get any better. You'll stunt your growth. So
Yeah.
I would say just allow yourself to fail. And because that's where growth and winning comes from.
Wow. I love that advice because I allow myself I had to get that mentality too, but I allow myself
Yeah,
like at least 5 fails a day, right? Like I get five.
right.
But then at the end of the day, I like to sit down and reflect, okay, what did I learn?
Right.
So yeah, I agree. I think are just learning opportunities, right?
Yep. Yep.
And opportunities to grow. So I
Hmm.
love that. In terms of keeping with that piece of advice, but from some of the younger generations who are coming up now behind you, looking up to
Hmm.
you, um, is there any different advice aside from the advice that you just gave your younger self that you would give
Yeah.
to any of them right now?
Um, I would say just really love and learn how to compete.
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest driver in me playing sports in general is that I'm a super competitive person.
Mhm.
And you have to find joy in that. Because there's certain days that, you don't want to get up and you don't want to, go to work or, go to the workout or have a conditioning test or, anything like that. But um, learning how to love that process and understanding that it'll be better when you compete or you will be better at high levels of competition, um, it'll all be worth it for sure. So I would just say you have to learn and you have to love to compete before you can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that, David. And because you were just so thorough in your responses, you answered about 5 to 7 of my other questions that I had. So I'm all out of
That's
questions for
awesome.
you. Yeah, I love it when that happens. So I don't have to take up any more of your time today. But again, I thank you so much for your time. This has been a delight getting a chance to talk to you a little bit about the issue. It will be out next week. So I've already told Josh that I'll get you guys print copies sent over. I'll just wait on him to send me some really nice photos for you of you to add to the issue. But yeah,
Perfect.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview today. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. It's been a blessing and an honor.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.